Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most common questions I get about electric vehicles. How do you actually charge them? It seems simple, but there's a lot more to it than just plugging in. We're going to cover everything from charging at home to using public stations, and we'll even look at how different brands like Tesla, BYD, and BMW handle things. So, if you're EV curious or a new owner, this video is for you. Let's get started. First things first, let's talk about charging at home. This is where most EV owners do about 80% of their charging. It's convenient, easy, and usually the cheapest option. The most basic way is using what we call a level 1 charger. This is essentially a special cable that plugs into a standard household wall outlet. The upside, you don't need any special installation. The downside, it's incredibly slow. You might only get about 3 to 5 miles of range per hour of charging. If you have a short daily commute, this might be enough to top you up overnight. But for most people, it's really just for emergencies or for plug-in hybrids with smaller batteries. That brings us to the most popular home charging solution, a level 2 charger. This is a dedicated charging box that gets professionally installed at your home, usually in your garage or driveway. These chargers require a 240-volt circuit, similar to what an electric stove or dryer uses. The difference is night and day. A level 2 charger can give you anywhere from 25 to 40 miles of range per hour. This means you can easily fully charge pretty much any EV overnight, no matter how much you drove during the day. Now, here's where it gets a little technical, but it's important. In most homes, you'll be using single-phase electricity. Your level 2 charger will typically deliver power at around 7 kilowatts. This is plenty for overnight charging. However, some places, especially in Europe, have access to 3-phase power. If your home has it and your car supports it, you can install a 3-phase charger that can deliver 11 or even 22 kilowatts. This is significantly faster, but honestly, for home use, it's often overkill unless you have a very specific need for rapid top-ups during the day. For the vast majority of us, a standard 7 kilowatt single-phase charger is the perfect sweet spot. So, you have your charger installed. What's next? You just plug in. Most modern EVs and home chargers have smart features. You can schedule charging to start late at night, when electricity rates are lowest. This is a huge money saver. Imagine waking up every morning with a full tank that costs you just a few dollars. This convenience and low cost of fueling at home is one of the biggest perks of owning an electric car. You'll almost never have to visit a gas station again. But what happens when you're on a long road trip, far from home? That's where public charging comes in. This is the equivalent of a gas station for EVs, and the network is growing incredibly fast. Public charging is split into two main categories: AC charging and DC fast charging. Public AC chargers are basically the same as the level 2 charger you might have at home. You'll find them in places like shopping centers, hotels, and office parking lots. They're great for topping up your battery while you're busy doing something else for a few hours. They typically charge at speeds from 7 to 22 kilowatts. So, if you're at the mall for 2 hours, you could add a solid 50 miles of range. It's super convenient. But the real game changer for road trips is DC fast charging, sometimes called level 3 charging. These are the high-powered stations you see along major highways. Instead of taking hours, these chargers can add hundreds of miles of range in under 30 minutes. This is what makes long-distance EV travel not just possible, but easy. DC fast chargers convert the AC power from the grid to DC power before it even enters your car, allowing it to bypass the car's slower onboard charger and pump energy directly into the battery at incredible speeds. Speeds can vary a lot, from 50 kilowatts on older units to over 350 kilowatts on the latest ultra-fast chargers. The actual speed you get depends on a few things: the charger's maximum output, your car's maximum charging speed, and your battery's current state of charge. Batteries charge fastest when they're at a lower percentage, and the speed will gradually slow down as it gets closer to full, usually around 80%, to protect the battery's health. So, a typical road trip stop involves charging from, say, 10% to 80% in about 20 to 30 minutes, and then you're back on the road. Now let's talk about the different brands, because not all EVs charge the same way. Let's start with Tesla. They're famous for their supercharger network. For a long time, this was a closed network, exclusive to Tesla owners. It's extensive, reliable, and incredibly easy to use. You just pull up, plug in, and the car and charger handle everything automatically, including payment. Tesla superchargers are DC fast chargers, with speeds now reaching up to 250 kilowatts. However, things are changing. Tesla is starting to open up its network to other brands, which is great news for everyone. Now let's look at other major players. Brands like BMW, Mercedes, XPeng, and BYD generally use a different standard called CCS, which stands for Combined Charging System. This is the dominant standard in North America and Europe. So, if you drive a BMW i4 or a Mercedes EQS, you'll use public charging networks like Electrify America, EVGO, or Ionity. These networks are also building out ultra-fast chargers capable of 350 kilowatts. This is where car-specific architecture matters. For example, some premium cars, like the Porsche Taycan or the Hyundai Ioniq 5, have an 800-volt battery system. This allows them to take advantage of those 350 kilowatt chargers and achieve some of the fastest charging speeds on the market, going from 10 to 80% in as little as 18 minutes under ideal conditions. A car with a more common 400-volt architecture, like a standard Tesla Model 3 or a BMW iX3, will still charge very quickly, but won't be able to hit those peak speeds. Let's compare a few. A Tesla Model Y long range can add about 162 miles in 15 minutes at a V3 supercharger. An XPeng G9, which also has an 800-volt system, claims it can add 124 miles of range in just 5 minutes on a compatible fast charger. A BYD Seal can go from 30 to 80% in about 26 minutes. A Mercedes EQE might take around 30 minutes for a similar 10 to 80% charge. As you can see, the numbers are all in the same ballpark, making road trips very manageable. The key difference often comes down to the efficiency of the car itself, how many miles it can travel per kilowatt-hour of energy. The charging world is constantly evolving. Connectors are becoming more standardized, with many non-Tesla brands in North America announcing a switch to Tesla's NACS connector. Charging speeds are getting faster, and networks are becoming more reliable and widespread. The goal is to make the charging experience as seamless and quick as filling up with gas, and we are getting closer to that reality every single day. So, to wrap it all up, for daily driving, a Level 2 home charger is your best friend. It's cheap, convenient, and ensures you always have enough range. For long trips, the growing network of DC fast chargers, whether it's Tesla's superchargers or the CCS networks, makes cross-country travel a breeze. The differences between car brands are becoming smaller as technology improves and standards converge. The future of driving is electric, and charging is becoming easier and more accessible than ever before. I hope this overview was helpful. Charging is a huge topic, and there are a lot of details we could get into. If you have any questions about specific models, chargers, or your own situation, drop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more EV content. We'll see you in the next one.